Today we are going to solve the question number 9, page number 2.69. So here he gave you the following is the trial balance of PK Limited as on 31st March 2017. He gave you the debit balance and the credit balances. So this is the balance. We'll go for the additional information. Stock was on 31st March, 2 lakhs he mentioned. Depreciation on plant and machinery 12%, furniture 10%, patent 20%. Provision you need to calculate, and here he mentioned the board of directors recommended a dividend of payment of 25%. We have to make the payment. Next, transfer 10% of profit for the current year to general reserve. So when we have solved this profit and loss account, the profit which we got for this particular question, on the 10% we are going to calculate, and that amount we are going to transfer to the general reserve. So for that question, this is the notes. First we have to open the share capital. Authorized capital he didn't mention, so we have taken as a nil. Issued and subscribed and paid up capital 50,000, equity shares of 100. So because he mentioned as a 5 lakhs, so we can assume that 50,000 of equity shares of 10 each is issuing. Next head is the reserves and surplus. General reserve he mentioned 82,000 plus last year profit 10%. For the current year we have to add to the general reserve, because in the adjustment he mentioned that to transfer 10% of profit to the general reserve. Next surplus as at 1st April 2016, and so last year 1,75,000, profit of the year 3,70,500. the total amount you get. From these you are going to deduct the proposed dividend of 25%, which he mentioned in the adjustments, on 5 lakhs of share capital, 12 lakhs 5,000 provision for corporate dividend. Tax at the rate 17% on 1,25,000 you are going to calculate. You get this amount. Transfer to general reserve 10% of 3,70,500 of the profit. Then you get this amount, the total. So you are going to deduct from this. You get the outer column, the amount. Then this is the total amount for the reserves and surplus. Next you have the short-term provisions. Short-term provision for income tax and proposed dividend, the amount. Provision for corporate dividend tax, the amount and the total. Next head we have tangible assets, plant and machinery, and we are calculating depreciation 12%, furniture, and we are calculating depreciation 10% on this, and we mention the total amount. Next is the intangible assets. Patents you have 9,000, on the depreciation 1,800. Inventories you have, so stock, the stock is closing stock 2 lakhs you have. Trade receivable, sundry debtors 54,000. Bad debts he mentioned in the question, so 4,000 we have deducted. 5% provision we have deducted. This is the total amount. Next, bills receivable 14,000. Next, cash and cash balance equivalents, cash at bank. This is the balance amount. So this is your working notes. Now we are going to come to the mains. So this is a pro forma of the balance sheet. You have to open PK Limited balance sheet as of 31st March 2017. The first head is equity and liabilities. So under shareholders fund, share capital, under note A, the total amount we got 5 lakhs. Reserves and surplus, note B, 4,76,250 and the total. Next you have current liabilities, trade payables, sundry creditors, bills payable, the total amount. Short-term provision under note 6, the total amount. So total equity and liability you got 3,92,450 of the current liability, and the total of these you got 13,68,700. Now coming to the assets. Assets first head is non-current assets. Non-current assets you have fixed assets. Tangible assets under the note D you got 10,78,500. Intangible asset under note E you got 7,200. The total of fixed assets. Next, coming to the current assets, you have inventories under note F 2 lakhs, trade receivable under note G 61,500, cash and cash equivalent note H 21,500. Total of current assets. So fixed assets plus current assets, the total of assets is 13,68,700. So your liabilities and the asset balance is tally. That's it.